What's up, YouTube? I'm back after taking a little bit of a break for the holidays and for the New Year's. We're back out here working on the car. Just wanted to quickly update you guys as to what's been going on and what's new, things like that. First things first, I got some new equipment and tools and stuff like that. You'll see that stuff as I'm working on the car. I'm not going to make a video just on that. You'll probably see some stuff in the background. Speaking of the background, you might be able to tell my bench is now moved over there. I've had to move it a bunch of times. I'm probably going to move it again. Basically, we park all of our cars in here. So my wife's car, which you'll see in the background of a bunch of videos, my truck, obviously the Lexus, and then I have an ATV and a mower and stuff. It's a lot of stuff to fit in this garage. This garage is big, but not big at the same time, if that makes any sense. We don't have a shed or any other outbuildings or anything, so I got to keep a lot of stuff in this garage. So I'm constantly shuffling stuff around, trying to make more sense and fit a little bit better. The other big news is I got some more equipment for my camera, mainly an external microphone, a better microphone. It's not working right now. I'm having trouble getting it to talk to the camera. So this is still probably so-so audio, but you should see improvements in that hopefully pretty soon. I'm going to get that sorted out, and that should help. This video is going to be about tearing down my motor. I think I go into all the details of it. I'm actually making this intro after I've already edited the video. My original intro didn't make any sense and was from a while ago, so I'm redoing it. And I'll come back at the end and explain what's going on with it. So enjoy. The first thing I'm going to show you guys is my heads. Now, I've shown you these before. There's not a whole lot special about them. They are, probably can't see that, but they're 862 castings. It's the Texas Speed 660 springs, titanium retainers, new keepers, new seals, all that good stuff. It was just the TSP kit and then a couple new parts. I had to do new intake valves. All my intake valves were pretty much destroyed when I brought the heads in. Had them cleaned up. I think it was a 3-angle valve job or something like that. They decked the surface just a very little bit just to clean them up. And if you're wondering, you could see there's still corrosion, so they didn't really take a lot off. If you remember, these heads had notches in them. Apparently, very early LS motors had notches on the sides to help get a pry bar underneath there or something like that to lift the heads off. I don't know why they thought they needed that, and apparently they thought that too, because they only did it for a very short time on very early LS heads. I wish I had known this before I had my heads done, but I figured it out after. Someone pointed it out when I posted a picture. So I kind of hemmed and hawed on what to do about fixing them. I ended up talking to the guy who did the heads originally, which is Tom Olson at T&T Racing Engines in Gurnee. And he gave me a pretty good price on having them done, so I brought him up there. I didn't film anything. I have some pictures. I might put some pictures in here real quick of him doing the work. But he welded them up and then remachined them. And now you can't really see where they were even. So one was right there. I don't know if you'll be able to see that at all. Maybe a little discoloration or something. And then the other one was right here. Kind of same deal. Pretty hard to tell. Now if you look on the edge, you could kind of see where it was, but barely. But that now means that my heads are good to go again. I thought they were good to go when I got them back the first time, but now they're good to go for real. The problem, if you're wondering, you could see where this is on both of them. It's basically, you know, LS heads are reversible, so they're the same. But it's between these two water passages. And with an MLS head gasket and there's no surface down here, the gasket would go up into that space and then allow it to leak coolant out, basically. Probably cylinder pressure would be easier to get out since it would only have to jump that small gap. But the main concern was coolant, from my understanding. And since I'm gonna be running a turbo, I'll be putting boost to it. ILSs are known, especially 4-volt heads, for lifting the heads a little bit. If you start turning it up too much, I'll probably turn it up too much. So I didn't want to risk it. And I figured better safe than sorry, get that fixed up and don't have to worry about it. So now that those are all done, now it's back to the block, which I guess I may as well walk over here and show you. It's just sitting here, dirty, crappy looking. Again, when I was in the engine shop, I talked to Tom a little bit, and he was like, why don't you just tear it apart, bring it down, and we'll at least get it cleaned up. So that's the plan. Today I'm gonna tear the thing down to a bare block. I'm gonna get the pistons, rods, everything out, crank out. I'll handle the pistons and rods and the crank probably. Double check with Tom on that. And then I'm gonna bring it all up to him to have him steam clean it all. And then I will put everything back together myself. This will also give me an opportunity to make sure the bearings are good. So that's what we're doing today. Let's get to it. All right, now I'm getting all set up to get this motor torn down. Kind of show you what's going on here. So again, this is just a 5.3 out of a truck. It's iron block. I don't know anything about it. Don't know the miles. Don't know anything. It's pretty bad. It's actually not as bad as the last one I had, but got the bench all cleared off. So I'm going to start tearing this thing down. I'm probably just going to time lapse this just to make it easy. That way I can put some music on and just go. Plus my heater will be going on and off, and that gets annoying in the background of the videos. So I'm going to try to avoid that, just time lapse. I will stop and show if I find anything weird or, you know, damaged or anything like that. Just so we know. You can see the front cover is already off. The crank pulley is already off. The cam has already been pulled out of it. I've not taken any of the main caps off, any of the rod caps, anything like that. So that's all going to be new. But it already is missing, not missing. I've already pulled out the cam, the lifters. I redid the rear cover, but I wanted to change that little, there's a, they call it like a barbell or something like that goes in the back that helps direct the oil passes. I have an aluminum one I want to put in. I didn't know about that until after I'd already done the rear main and all the cover and all that. So that's going to get undone and have to get redone, but that's okay. Anyways, let's just tear into this and see what we find. Okay, today's the next day. I got the engine all torn down. Give it a look right here. Nothing to really see. Everything went pretty smoothly. Bearings all look pretty decent. Everything's just dirty. The pistons are so-so. I don't know how well this will focus, but there's some gunk in them. Some of the rings are kind of seized up. That front cover is trashed. I never got a chance to clean that yet. But everything looks pretty okay. Now I'm gonna get this thing loaded up and get it ready to bring over to the shop to have it all cleaned up tomorrow. I'm not sure if I'll be videoing inside there at all. I'll at least take pictures, and I'll do the same thing I did with the heads. I'll put some pictures in here and get this thing taken care of. And that's where we're at. I didn't get any pictures or video of getting everything at Tom's shop. Once we got it there, we got everything inside. We didn't really do a whole lot anyway. It was more just coming up with a game plan and a cursory look over everything. So as I said, the plan is to steam clean the block, clean and polish the crank, and then when we were inspecting everything, I noticed when I pulled it apart, but then Tom noticed when the parts were there, that the rings were really seized up, and a few of the pistons, most of the pistons really. And he was concerned that we may start breaking the rings as we take them out if I was to just re-gap the stock rings, which that was the initial plan, and a lot of people do it. But this engine was questionable, I'll say. So after looking at it and looking at the cylinders, he's going to hone the cylinders and get new rings. He's going to gap the rings for me, but then I'm going to do all the reassembly. He's going to check all the bearing clearances, make sure everything looks okay, and then again, I'll do all the final assembly. The engine and all the parts should be back this week. Not sure exactly when, but hopefully this week. I still need to get a few other things. I need to get all new main bolts. Those are all torque to yield from the factory, so I'm going to put another factory set on there. It's not really worth the risk for the $100 it is for a set of bolts. Just put new ones on there instead of reusing the old ones. Again, I'm sure a million people reuse the old ones and they're fine, but for $100 I'll just throw a set on there. I think that's it. Oh, I need a piston ring tool. I don't have a piston ring tool, so I got to order one of those up. And then I'll be able to put everything back together and get the bottom end together. Hopefully you guys should see that pretty soon. I'm hoping to just kind of keep rolling on all that. But we'll see, how it goes. And if Tom finds anything catastrophic or anything that, warrants more work, I'll let you guys know. But until then, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you're not already. Like the video if you like it, comment, and I'll see you guys on the next one.